Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy, Ruther, and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Yeah, Joe, we are live on YouTube.
That's right. I got the notification. I was like, I guess we're live.
Well, that's me throwing that was on purpose. That's me throwing a little nugget.
Okay.
It's after 10 Eastern time. Who's up? Who's subscribed?
You up? You up?
Who's got those noties on?
I gotta move my fucking,
as the kids say.
I
So I like to do that. But regardless, if a Substack subscriber, free or paid, you got that link too. So, I don't know how many times we're going to do this, but just the heads up on that, guys. Speaking of, I don't even have time to get into it. I see Prano with a nice back and forth with a dirt ball on our Substack. He's taking the fight to the stack.
Well, I mean, as is per usual with dirt balls. First of all, I'm already in an argument with something I didn't even say, but that's neither here nor there. So I never said everybody wishes they lived in New York. I said everybody wishes that they were a New Yorker.
I think you might. We might have to go back to the tape on that.
Wildly different things. Either way,
I think you said everybody wishes they live in New York.
Okay. The sentiment is I think everybody wishes, like, no one, if you're like no one's like, I want to be reincarnated as a cockroach. Everybody's like, in my former life I was Marilyn Monroe. See, no one was like, in my former life I was a homeless veteran who sucked dick under a bridge. No one's like, oh man, I hope I get born in Texas. No one wants that shit. Fucking.
I disagree. I'm gonna. Yeah. Look at my tagline.
You know what that's called? Stockholm syndrome.
No, see, here's the difference between us. As you can see, I'm repping. First of all, now you're like forcing me by your actions this last week, forcing me to really embrace this Pacer team, defend my Midwestern roots. As you can see, I have Midwest pride. You're forcing me.
Why? When did I attack this Pacers team? I didn't attack this Pacers team.
Is this for real?
Yeah. You wanted me to take an L on the Knicks. I didn't say shit about the Pacers team.
But it's not just the Pacers. You're talking about nobody wants to live at this spot or this spot. People do, Joe Prano.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No one wants to drive no one wants to drive a Honda. You think I have a Mazda CX-5 because it's like the best car in the whole goddamn world? I have a Mazda CX-5 because I can't afford the Lamborghini SUV.
I wouldn't want that.
No?
No.
It would be too fucking too much, too fast. The seats would be too nice. The stereo would be too good.
I don't
like your Corolla hatchback.
I'm not saying I wouldn't upgrade from the old hatch. I'm just saying there are things. Not everybody wants the nicest things as far as a car, because there's a lot that comes with that. And so the point is, you're assuming that everybody wants to live in big cities.
It's a very weird thing. Like you're a weird person, or you're just trash. When you like trash things just because you are trash. Like, here's the thing, and this is no disrespect to the man, but I was like, this is the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. I go on the road with Adam Carolla, and next thing I know, me and him, we're getting on the plane late, and we're like middle seats on Southwest. In my head, I'm like, bro, you're rich as fuck. What are you fucking middle senior? You just like for $15, you didn't do like A group board. You just took B35. I was like, that's fucking like, what are you doing? And but you know what? When you talk to Adam, he's like, I used to work fucking construction and I showered with the hose. And I'm just like, oh, you're just one of those guys. You're like the guy, they say like, oh, Warren Buffett still got his same fucking Toyota Tercel from like whatever. That's strange. It's weird. Normal people don't do that. When you're like, I love living in Marfa, Texas, you have Stockholm syndrome, bro. You just can't get out.
But I think some people do, is my point.
Some people like what? Dust?
No, some people like areas that maybe you or I or anyone else might not deem places we'd want to live.
So, but hold on.
Did not think we'd be starting with this, but that's cool.
First of all, I have a gigantic spider because I don't have an office. I have a shed behind my house because I can't afford a fucking man cave.
Get the spider.
I'm trying. Hold on. He's fucking. I don't know if I killed it or if I just moved it. Anyway, if you were like, hey, like, listen, I get people like space and blah, 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 blah. Like, David Letterman has a ranch in Montana. I get it. But just like, I live in a trailer park in Marfa, Texas, because I love the quiet. No, you fucking don't, motherfucker. You're just poor.
Where is this place in Texas you keep talking about?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a shitty name in Texas.
So that's not a real place.
It is a real place.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. I've been
It's all Abilene. Fucking where the fuck ever? El Paso. Like what you love Texas? Like what do you love about Texas? What do you let me ask you something, Andy. What do you love about Pennsylvania? I went to school in Pennsylvania. What do you love about Pennsylvania?
Well, I don't have that much experience in Pennsylvania personally. So I can't speak for that. I could speak way more for Texas. I've spent a fair amount of time there. I like the Texas vibe.
Yeah. Just a Texas Roadhouse and a fucking Starbucks and an IKEA and some sand.
No, but Texas, it's a huge state, man. Like there's as far as geographically, I mean, you could literally be in the Gulf of Mexico. You could be in the mountains. You could be in the desert. You could be in a bigger city. I'm saying there is a lot of options there. I think from you, you're just you realize you've only lived in 2 big coasts though.
Yeah, because I right. So I like the coast. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna live in a landlocked area because that's what I like. I like the ocean. I like where there's waves. So I gotta be near an ocean. I'm also from New York, right? But if I was like, I do love the mountains, I like the mountains too. I love snowboarding. So if I was like, ooh, maybe would I move to like Jackson, Wyoming? Or would I move to like Aspen? Or would I move to like Lake Tahoe? I definitely wouldn't move to the Poconos.
Yeah, but here's the thing, man. Cost is a factor for everybody.
Right.
So
supply and demand.
Well, supply and demand, but also other factors, right? So like I obviously don't like the weather here. I'm open about that.
But your family's there.
My family's here.
That's why you're there.
It's affordable. I actually just had this conversation with Eddie Ift.
Let me ask you something, Andy. Serious question. Play a hypothetical for me. Okay? Hypothetical. Your whole fucking family up and moves to Savannah, Georgia. You're planting your flag in Cincinnati. This is my town. I'm fucking here. I'm a ride or die Cincy guy. Or you're like, you know what? I'm going to Savannah, Georgia.
Well, one, I've never been, but I hear a lot of good things. And it's also, talk about next to the ocean. So there'd be that factor. Also, I have to factor in Brittany's family. Right. So like, I don't know in that situation because her family is Greater Cincinnati. So it's like, my parents are gone. Her parents aren't. So it's like she wants to be by her parents, which I get. I mean, look, I have these conversations. I like have these conversations with her from time to time. Like, oh, I could live there. I could live there. But then there's a million factors, right? Like California, I couldn't raise a family living in California. At least
Why is
not
that?
because it's very expensive.
Okay. So nothing
Um,
about you don't. It's not buns.
I don't know what that means, by the way.
It's something fucking dorks say when they just say I can't afford something.
What does buns mean?
Shit. It's trash.
But the truth is, I also don't know, like when it comes to like where you want to live, especially if you have money, tax breaks are real. It's like there's no state income tax in North Carolina.
Great. That's fine. Andy. No one here is saying that you can't find a place that works for you. You think Port Hueneme is preferable to Malibu? No. It's literally just north of Malibu and much cheaper. It's like the whole point. It's like why I'm here. I'm just saying stop pretending. I would never do that. I would never be like, yeah, I prefer it to Malibu. If I could have a fucking house in Malibu, I'm being here. I'm living next to the naval base, dog. I just like the Taco Bell on my corner. That would be stupid and pathetic.
But I'm going to counter with this. I do think there is a lot of people who only knew, and look, people can decide whether that's for better or worse, but who only know what they grew up with.
Sure. And that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know there's plenty of people who don't know how to quote unquote get out, and they're comfortable because it's comfortable to grow or it's comfortable to live where you grew up. So it's like they're gonna be born somewhere, they're gonna die somewhere. It's they're never gonna leave, they're never gonna live in other cities.
Yeah.
But as you can see, again, you're forcing me to take my Midwest pride and now Pacer pride, Joe. It was a struggle last night. They blew it at the end, man.
Yeah.
Who were you rooting for? I was watching that game thinking.
I literally was not. I had no root. I was like, I hope it's a fucking good series. I want to see a good game. I don't want to see like 22-point game one, 24-point game two the other way. It's like it's still basketball. I just still want to see good things. Now, like there's some part of me a little bit that like when I'm watching, I'm kind of rooting for Indiana because it's like Boston and all the stuff that comes with Boston. But this happens a lot lately where it's like Boston, like weirdly, Boston and New York have this rivalry, but like the Knicks and the Celtics don't have this like rivalry because whatever. So it's like, no, Philly fans are still talking about the Knicks. And you're like, okay, Indiana, move on. Guys, you're playing a new series. Move on to your new series. You're still, this is why I'm like, hate us because you ain't us. That's why you wish you went to Madison Square Garden for your basketball games instead of the Gainsburg Fieldhouse or whatever the fuck it is. This is why we're like, it's over. Like Ferris Bueller, it's over. Go home. Like, what are we doing here? So there's part of me that's like, I found myself rooting for Indiana because they're not Boston. But then when Indiana like literally choked away the game, I was like, well, that's enjoyable.
That would have been a huge game one steal. And Rick Carlisle is taking the blame as he should. I don't know why you don't call a timeout to advance the ball before the Siakam turnover. And then, like, I just, from grade school to high school to college to the NBA, I don't know how many times I'm going to see this. Guys, if you're down, or I'm sorry, if you're up 3 and they have the ball under 10 seconds, just foul them right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like how many times are we going to see this? It's like just it's rudimentary basketball. Come on.
So you're upset because you're a Pacers fan now. You were rooting for the Pacers.
I was rooting for the Pacers.
Yeah.
Again, as you can see, Midwest pride here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, but like everything about it, just like you can call when you didn't call a timeout to advance the ball, but also you have a timeout when you're inbounding the ball. So you can always call a timeout so as to not throw a pass out of bounds. Like everything about that was terrible. Props to Rick Carlisle for taking the blame. I know Boston is like the 9th biggest TV market in America, and I think Indianapolis is like 25. So there was that angle to play. I guess you can't go to the well too many times though. So there's that. That was nice. And yeah, I mean, call a timeout or call a timeout if you can't you can't safely throw an inbound pass. Yeah. But then when Jaylen Brown hit the 3 to tie the game, you're like, oh, they're losing in overtime, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Not a doubt in my mind that the Pacers would win after he hit that 3. And
let me say something else. Let me say something else about this. Let's just talk about the specifics of the basketball, because the weird thing is like if you want to like pretend all these things, like all the conversations that went on last round, and are like ongoing. It's like the lunacy of like there was. I thought like the lunacy of somebody coming at me and being like, Tyrese Halliburton is better than Jalen Brunson. I was like, okay, what are we doing here? This is lunacy. We're actually at a point now where I'm like, can Tyrese Halliburton be the best point guard in the NBA if he's not the best point guard on his own team? You go down this, like TJ McConnell is more effective in games in the last 2 rounds than Tyrese Halliburton.
McConnell.
He's more effective. He's affecting the game defensively. And it's not like he's not playing well on offense. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, can you be the best point guard on your team when the other team gives a deep sigh of relief when you come back in the game?
I mean, here's my thing. Well, first of all, I mean, TJ McConnell, come on. But he has played well.
What do you mean, come on? Come on, what?
I mean, he's not better than Halliburton.
In terms of, in like, I guess it depends on how you mean it.
Well, I just mean as an overall player.
I'm just talking about how he's affecting the games in this round and in the last round.
Now, Halliburton has a really bad turnover in overtime. That final shot, that was like a 5th grade boys team. I don't know what happened before overtime. The final shot the Pacers had, that was bad. It was really, really bad. It was tough to watch.
Oh, the final shot of regulation, you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Well, he took himself over to the sideline, which when you do that, you can't then take a 3 shuffle sidestep travel, because then you'd be out of bounds. So he put himself in a position where he couldn't go to his go-to move.
Shots fired.
Not to mention in overtime, and he has a terrible turnover as well.
Now you said Celtics in 5.
I said Celtics in 5.
Now, if the Pacers win, I don't think it's Celtics in 5.
Okay. I guess we'll never know.
We won't. That's what I'm getting to. Like, does anything change your opinion after game 1?
Well, no, I bet Pacers last night because that's the go-to NBA playoff move. Road team plays them close, game 1. Now you get a 15-point Boston game 2. Then do the Pacers get both at home? So I'm predicting double-digit Celtics win game 2. Then I'm predicting one game of the Celtics, the Pacers get in Indiana, probably game 3. Boston. There you go. 5. Now you're 100% right. If the Pacers had won game 1, then it can't be a 5-game series if the Pacers win either of their home games. So yeah, there you go. It's a 6-game series, but they didn't. I'm going double-digit Boston winning game 2. NBA zigzag theory comes back. They close the line down a little bit, and although I don't actually think they've closed the line down that much, it's Boston by 8.5. Boston covers, wins. You go to Indiana for 2 games. Now, Indiana managed to get both games in the Knicks series. Game 3, we have the full Nelson game and the Nembhard Bobble 3. And there you go. Whole series turns around.
And right now we have Minnesota and Dallas. It's actually on in the background.
Playing a pretty good game here so far. You actually have it 89. I have it 89-84 Timberwolves. You have it directly in front of you. I have a little side action here.
Yeah, I got the same score, so we're pretty well lined up there. Yeah, it's been an interesting game so far because Anthony Edwards really hasn't done much. It's just the role players from Minnesota.
What's funny is our boy, original Hall of Famer Jesse Stanga, wrote to me today, and he said, Karl Anthony Towns over, and Luka under. And I'm checking it now because, yeah, Karl Anthony Towns only has 11 points. It's killing me. He gave me a 20-point over under, which I like. But I also did put. I went under on, I went under on Anthony Edwards, over on Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, it's basically the Luka and Kyrie show so far.
He was like, yeah, under Luka, and I was like, I'm not betting under Luka. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I was like, I vehemently refuse.
I was telling you before the show. I like these Minnesota jerseys. I like how they go back to these jerseys.
Yeah, these jerseys are the best. We went through a whole era, and I know that now now the millennials are like hearkening back to their childhood. It's just like with my team, like the Mets black uniforms are fucking disgusting and despicable, and we should never wear them. But like every kid who's like in their 30s, like those are the best. Like the Minnesota Timberwolves uniforms with like the howling, like the Garnett prime days, awful.
90s NBA uniforms are pretty bad, and I think that kind of spilled over to the 2000s.
Hawks with the fucking things in the middle.
The Houston Rockets, remember those?
Oh yeah, with the pinstripe ones,
dude.
With the Rockets on them.
I mean, those were that was 90s, right? So that would have been the 90s NBA.
That's it's like late 90s, early 2000s.
I want to say that you could cross sports. Just uniforms sucked for like.
Yeah, they tried to make everything like cartoony, and like they like over designed them and whatever.
Minus maybe the NFL. I feel like the NFL still like
nah. A lot of them went fucking bad in the NFL too. And the thing about the NFL, a lot of them went bad and like never came back. Like look at the Broncos. Like Broncos, go back to your orange uniforms and your blue helmets. The shittiest fucking
with the D.
Yeah.
And the horse. Yeah. No, I agree. The Broncos ones are bad. But the NBA had a lot of bad jerseys, man.
Horrible. Yeah. The Hawks were terrible. The Rockets were terrible.
Rockets might be the worst.
The Warriors, remember the like blue war, or the one with like a warrior in like a knight's outfit, like remember those? Remember the Baron Davis Warriors?
Yeah, that's true. Like if I had it in front of me, it'd be interesting to pick like who I think is the worst.
The Grizzlies.
It's so weird to think that Vancouver had a team.
Yeah.
Like Magic Johnson could not make NBA work in Vancouver, but he beat AIDS. Like that's crazy to me. You beat AIDS, you couldn't just like if an NBA team goes to almost any city, it's gonna work.
What did Magic Johnson have to do with it?
Wasn't he involved? Or am I just making all this up?
You're making it up. Isaiah Thomas was involved in the Raptors. You've juxtaposed two 80s point guards and Canadian basketball teams.
I could have sworn.
No. I don't think Magic Johnson had anything to do with the Grizzlies.
Nothing?
I don't think so. Isaiah Thomas and the Raptors.
Nothing had to do with it? Did I just completely pull it out of my ass?
Yeah.
I'm searching. Nothing? That's come on. We gotta find something.
No, you're not.
His is not an easy Wikipedia to go through. Holy shit. Business interest.
Why don't you just put in Magic Johnson, Memphis or Vancouver Grizzlies?
I did. Nothing's coming up. I
know,
find
it's
something.
not a thing. No, you're not gonna find anything. You just created that out of thin air. Isaiah Thomas and the Raptors. That's what you're thinking of.
What did Isaiah Thomas do with the Raptors?
He was like their president of basketball operations. He might have even been their GM for a minute. He was like a part of the like expansion, though.
Yeah, I think I just made this up.
Yeah, you did.
Kind of like Magic made up that he had HIV. Not buying it. Not buying it. What do you think is a
thing to lie about?
Well, if you got paid a lot of money, hey, you'd be our spokesperson. I'd lie by it. You'd be the spokesperson. You pay me hundreds of millions of dollars.
What's a worse take? I live in Texas by choice, or I'm fake. I'm pretending to like Texas, or I'm pretending to have AIDS.
That'd be kind of fun though, to pretend you have AIDS. Like you really get into character.
Everybody's like, "Oh, don't touch me." He's like, "Oh, why? I thought everybody was like cool with it." Nah, bro, we fucking hate it. It's weird. It's the 90s. We're pretty sure you can get it by just touching me.
Dude, if somebody said I'm gonna give you $500 million to pretend you have AIDS.
Didn't Magic Johnson like make way more than that shit? Just like owning like movie theaters and shit.
He's probably around there. His total net worth. I don't have it right in front of me, but I'm just saying. I'm saying like if somebody said that to me, I'm not saying that he made it up, guys. I'm just fucking around. Obviously, the better conspiracy is that he was playing on both sides of the ball, if you know what I mean. Allegedly. That's our city hall. Oh yeah, the Orlando. Speaking of Magic, the Orlando Magic have always kind of had terrible jerseys.
Yeah, they've literally never not had terrible jerseys.
The Shaq Penny.
Yeah,
the Shaq Penny years.
They were just born and raised with terrible jerseys.
It's fascinating to me that a basketball team lasted in Orlando and not Vancouver. I mean, where Disney is, like a team lasted in that town.
Well, they had Shaq, and the Vancouver Grizzlies had Bryant Big Country Reeves.
Great callback.
Hey, some of us prefer Big Country Reeves. Okay. Not everybody wants a Shaq, see? Some of us like the big country we have. Okay. No, we
You
don't
know-
all need a Penny Hardaway. We like our Sharif Abdul-Rahim just fine.
You know what college Big Country went to?
Yeah, Oklahoma State.
There you go. The Cowboys. There's a place I'd love to live, Stillwater. You ever been to Stillwater?
Never.
Me either. I have been to Norman, University of Oklahoma. I've been there.
Oklahoma City. And I've
I've
driven
been there.
I've driven through Oklahoma. The only place I've ever spent time in Oklahoma was Oklahoma City, I think.
I've been there too a few times. Ooh, that's a big 3. Okay, so this game is a 5-point game with 7 minutes to go. This is a huge, I think it's a huge game 1 for both teams. More for Minnesota if they lose. Who gives the Celtics a better chance in the finals? It's got to be Minnesota, right?
I think I think the West wins the championship.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Here we go. I got to start beef with Boston now. I just think like Jayson Tatum, I know it's like kind of like not even that much of a hot take, but I think some things that like sometimes when everybody's saying some shit, you just gotta be like, yeah, man, like that's the fucking way it is. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta go to the, you just gotta go to the tape. Like Jayson Tatum lacks an alpha quality. Now, I don't necessarily think that you need to be like I'm going to take the big fucking shot guy, but it feels like he disappears a little bit while also like the criticism of LeBron is like LeBron like disappears, but like LeBron's like affecting the game in terms of like him passing and like him making the right play. This thing Jayson Tatum kind of just like disappears a little general. Like, I just don't think that they have. I think Ant and Luca and I guess he's better than but obviously he's better than any guy in the Pacers.
Okay, let me
like,
ask you this.
I think the best player on the floor comes from one of the West teams when they're playing the Celtics.
Who is more of the like? Who do you have more faith in, Kyrie Irving or Jayson Tatum? There's an interesting one.
Well, Kyrie Irving's more like game on, game off, game on, like, whereas Jayson Tatum, I just don't like. Here's the thing about Jayson Tatum. I never watch Celtics game and go, look at Jayson Tatum taking over. Just like doing this, doing that. Like he's an incredible athlete and he's an incredible basketball player and he has great moments. But I mean, I think this is his 5th straight conference finals. What's your big Jayson Tatum game? What's that one that you're just like, oh, remember that thing that happened with the thing? Remember that series where he just did this?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was watching that. Obviously, he had a huge 3 in overtime last night, but I was thinking that, right? This is his 7th year. He's still only 25.
I know. No, he's incredible. Listen, I'm not saying this is in no way like any sort of diss on Jayson. Like, you can be one of the best basketball players in the world and not be the best basketball player on. Steph Curry was not the best player on the Kevin Durant teams. Steph Curry was still a fucking elite basketball player who had a million of those moments on his own. It just feels like Jayson Tatum should be somebody's
sidekick.
Yeah.
The irony of what you're saying is pretty obvious to me because he was such a Kobe guy and worked with Kobe, and you're basically saying.
By the way, that again, this isn't.
But you're saying he doesn't have that Mamba mentality.
But not really, because like I don't need you to be like taking over games like scoring wise. I just need you to be like taking it where I'm just like, man, I can't stop watching what Jayson Tatum's doing in this game. It just feels to me like the two teams in the West, one has a super duper star who finished second in the MVP, and one has a budding super duper star. And Jayson Tatum is a great player and an NBA star. But the regular season's where you make your name. The playoffs are where you make your fame. When you come down to it, the NBA Finals time. Who's elevating?
It's like, you get a meal sometimes and you have a really nice little side piece. That's kind of what you're describing him as, right? Like, let's say you get like a bomb burger with some really good fries or something. He's not the burger. He's the fries.
But like burger and fries is great. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. So
I'm not saying
what's Jaylen Brown?
Right. But I'm saying burger and fries is great. Like, I don't need every team doesn't need like a porterhouse steak and fries. Like, you could be burger and fries. But I just don't think he's like necessarily like he's not the burger.
He's not the burger.
Like, but he's really good fries.
And really good fries are great.
Yeah.
Especially with a good burger. Are we going crinkle? What's your go-to?
Oh, we've already done this, Andy. We've done this like a million times.
Oh, we have?
Yeah. And everybody was like furious at me. I love crinkle fries, by the way. Everybody's like, they're trash, worst ass fries.
Who says that?
We did this. Already. I love crinkle fries. I love crinkle fries. I love shoestring fries. I think
curly fries are good.
I like curly fries are a little bit overrated. For some reason, you can't like really like whatever. Waffle fries, pretty good. Also kind of overrated. Steak fries, the worst. I don't want no big ass fucking quarter of a fucking potato. The only way, if you hand me steak fries, you better be handing me some fucking vinegar. I'm going salt and vinegar on them bitches.
Salt and vinegar?
On some steak fries? If you're handing me a full ass potato cut into like quarters and calling it French fries, I'm gonna need to go salt and vinegar here. I used to love curly fries as a kid. I'd go to like wherever and you get like curly fries if I could dip cheese in them. If I could dip them in cheese. Arby's style.
That sounds amazing.
I love crinkle fries. It's like the cheap guy fries, but like that's okay. Because like fries are just like cheap guy thing in general.
This is a hell of a game, by the way. It's a 1-point Minnesota game under 3 minutes.
102-101, yep.
That's a city I would love to go to. I know I've said this. I've never been to Minnesota. Yeah. I hear it's lovely in the summer.
I've heard great things. Minnesota won, I think, 2 states now that I haven't been to. Minnesota and North Dakota.
Did you see Nick Swartzen after Minnesota won the last game?
No.
On his Instagram?
Was he sucking a dude off? He was like, oh, it's crazy. We won. I got to blow this guy in a fucking restroom. And you're like, what? No, you don't have to. I have to. I guess I got to suck a guy's dick in a porta potty. And people are like, why is that something you have to do? We won. Them's the rules.
He was almost crying.
Good.
He was like legit emotional.
I'm rooting for Nick Swartzen. I mean, it's a big gap for me, and we did this out, so it's a huge gap. Like, it's Minnesota, and then I guess it's like a huge gap to Dallas.
Oh,
and then you're like 5 seconds ahead of me.
Well, it looked like he took a nasty hit to his head, but I guess it wasn't too bad. I feel like they've called that the Target Center forever. I'm always curious when when teams just keep the same sponsorship deal for their arena.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this NBA and TNT, man.
Well, there's a Target. It's Target Field there too. Target's big in Minnesota, apparently.
Well, yeah, it's the headquarters is there. Oh,
You love
three.
yourself some Target, don't you?
No, I'm not.
You're not a big Target guy. You're a Costco guy.
My girlfriend is. She's like, ride or die.
I can't fucking stand Target.
I can't either. And it's too overpriced for me.
Honestly, I've come to appreciate Costco more. I still don't like going to Costco, but in the world where these things happen, like I'd rather go to Costco 1,000 times than go to Target.
Dude, it's not even close.
Yeah.
Like so yesterday
I've come to accept certain horrors of the world, and Target, Costco and Home Depot are two of them.
Well, here's the thing about Costco. It's when you go. I always tell people if you go early or the last.
I'm like 10 seconds behind you. That follow dunk.
Well, they're gonna see if it was offensive goaltending, I think. But the key is you either go in the first hour of opening or hour of closing when you go to Costco. Oh, then it's not bad at all.
I mean, I've been, like, no joke, I've probably been to Costco 2 or 3 times since last time I was with you.
Dude, I'm literally looking
let me make let me say one thing about this offensive goaltending too. I think offensive goaltending should be allowed a certain height above the rim. I'm not saying you should be able to tap every ball, but like he was way above the rim.
I'm for all offensive goaltending.
That's FIBA, right? Can you go? I think you can offensive goaltend international basketball all you want. That's way too high. How could you even tell? Look how high that is.
But like, why can't you do offensive goaltending? I just don't understand the rationale why you can't do it. If the ball's up there, just if you can tip it in, put it in. Like, what's the rationale there? He traveled. Call the fucking. There you go. NBA is so weird with the travel call. You're like, are they going to call it or not? They're just going to let it slide. That's my biggest gripe, by the way, with NBA officiating. Why do certain it's like, why do certain travels?
I think that comes when you have a child, you just start like, I think that's something like when you cut the umbilical cord, you just go like, I have to fucking talk about travels now.
But
once I put you in those air monarchs, you're like,
no, it was when I started coaching.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's like the NBA, people are just like working so fast. Like, the truth is, like, the gather step, it's all very.
But I don't know what's the equivalent for another sport is my point. Like, what's the equivalent of a travel? Is it a catch?
Yeah, probably.
Is that the equivalent?
Probably. Check swing.
Yeah.
Check swing in baseball. They're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, wait, what? Nah. Based on what? We think you offered it. What is the phrase offered at it even mean, sir? Yeah, you offered at it. Did I? It's not like soliciting a prostitute.
So NBA and TNT might be donezo, man.
Yeah.
That's a major bummer.
It's a major
Next year
bummer.
would be the last year. It sounds like they're not going to get the NBA anymore. I think if they can't make these guys work on a different network, and obviously Ernie can't.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Ernie's important, but you know what? Here's the thing. It's like, it's almost like a sum of its parts, though. Like if you just took Ernie, if you just took Ernie away and you put Shaq and Kenny and Charles and somebody else, like, does it work? Obviously, Shaq's the recent member. Shaq is great.
Get Draymond off my screen, by the way. Like what are they like? I mean, it's seriously. I'm watching the game tonight.
Let me tell you something, Andy.
Too many damn people.
This is why you should be afraid. I'm not necessarily like I think that the glory days of the NBA on TNT are behind us. Okay. But that being said, it's still a million times better than every show. And the reason that we should be very, very afraid of what comes next is because when you look around, the people that they're giving a voice to are horrific. Can you imagine if next year they're like the NBA on NBC and it's Draymond and Paul Pierce and fucking Kendrick Perkins and like you'd be like, this is fucking trash.
Yeah.
Looks like we might get a Dallas win here. You're 10 seconds ahead of me, so don't ruin it, but
this would be a huge win for Dallas.
That's it. I mean, that's a big miss.
It is a big miss. But we'll see. What goes back to that goaltend? I mean, that goaltending would have tied the game up at 104.
Yeah.
That's a huge call.
Ooh, Kyrie with the lefty miss.
That's what I'm saying. So we still.
I was talking about the cat miss on the other end before it, but.
Yeah, I know you were, but I'm saying.
Pacers would need to come in to blow the 4-point lead in 17 seconds.
My team.
Yeah,
ride or die.
I love that I love your reply last night was Knicks did it first. I was like, yeah, that's famously what that's a picture of.
No, I know that. But I'm saying Knicks choked first.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
It was in 1995.
I'm familiar, Prano. I know that. I watched it. I was living it. I was a 7th grader, 8th grader. 30 for 30 on that, right?
Yeah, there was. I think on the whole Knicks, like Knicks Pacers like rivalry, right?
Yeah, there was a 30 for 30.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Do they make those anymore?
I don't think so. I don't know how it works. Simmons started that when he was there, but they kept doing them after. But now it feels like they've become like something else. But I don't know. I don't watch ESPN enough.
Well, it was a great docuseries, or I mean, I don't know what you would call it, not a docuseries.
Docuseries. Yeah,
would it be a docuseries?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't one topic, but it was a docuseries.
I'm always fascinated which teams pay for the little.
By the way, Andy, since we're talking about docs, I brought up the octopus on last episode, and then Zach Olmstead sent me a screenshot of something called like America Murder Story or something. The American fucking conspiracy, the octopus murders, which I watched 3 episodes of last night and have one more
on Netflix. Bro,
yeah. If you want to get yourself a taste of what the octopus is, great 4-parter on what the octopus is about. And you'll watch it. And when you're in 4 episodes into this, you're going to be like, oh yeah, the idea that anybody's ever suggested that Jay-Z is involved in this Illuminati is hilarious.
Well, we got a new 30 for 30. I see.
I like that. I like the idea that he has faked having AIDS, which he never even claimed to have. He said HIV, and owned the Grizzles. The Grizzles.
He might have. Magic Johnson might have owned the Grizzles.
Grizzles sounds like a restaurant when you can't afford Perkins. And fucking and KT are fucking.
You know who eats at Grizzles?
Philly, Texas dirtballs there, and he's like, I don't want to eat at Perkins. I prefer Grizzles.
You know who will crush some Grizzles is Ski Dog.
Ski Dog.
Ski Dog
was like, dude. You wake up at a fucking chick's place the next morning. You're on your way home. You stop at Grizzles, dude. Sit down.
Totes. All right, we got it.
Get yourself a 5 for 5. 5 pieces of bacon, 5 eggs, 5 slices of cheese. Oh, did that go in? I don't know what the fuck just happened.
We got a ski dog reference on a call today, which we'll get to.
This is one of those. Andy was like, "Let's do this tonight." I was like, if we do this on, if we do this on Friday, we'll have 3 NBA games to do. And Andy was like, "No, let's bang it out tonight." And now I know that you were just like, "Oh, we can just like have a rambling 90 minutes tonight where we don't stay on topic for 1 fucking second."
Isn't that vintage dirty sports?
Yeah, sure.
We're watching the game.
I have no problem with it.
Look, we're watching the game.
Fuck.
We're talking about whatever Grizzles and Magic Johnson faking HIV and Vancouver.
No, I said before, it's like, to me, it's Minnesota, then Dallas, then like way down below the 2 Eastern Conference teams. I guess it's Indiana ahead of Boston right now, but then also like, Indiana fans right now. Who are you rooting for? Is Indiana now your squad? You're like ride or die Indiana guy?
No, that's me just kind of joking. Look. Did they foul? See, that's a smart move to do. Don't even give them a shot to shoot a 3. Foul them, force a couple free throws, and then.
Well, also you're up 4, so it doesn't even fucking matter.
Or did he get fouled on the 3? Yeah, I think Conley got fouled on the 3. So
that's ridiculously stupid.
That's what you don't want to do.
Honestly, when you're up 4, like I don't know why more teams don't just go like, all right, we're up 4, like let them fucking like so they make it, and then what we play the free throw game. Can you imagine you made it? You imagine you made it? You make it. It goes in with 1.3 seconds left to go in the game. Cool. If you can't inbound the ball, I guess you're the Pacers, but still.
So what's the deal with the sale? The sale is off for the Timberwolves, and
it honestly.
But A-Rod's sitting courtside at all these games. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah. The ownership, the ownership situations in the Western Conference Finals are wild as fuck. So Mark Cuban sold the Mavs, but still owns like 29%. I don't know if that means he's the biggest shareholder, but he's certainly not the majority shareholder because there is no majority shareholder. But yet he's the president of basketball operations. Minnesota did a bait and switch. Now, if I was A-Rod's there and he's doing the thing, if I was A-Rod, I'd have sued the fuck out of you. Oh, you're gonna fucking, I hate to say Indian give. You're gonna Native American give the team, the Native American give the sale of this team you guys make the Western Conference Finals.
Well, what happened? Is that what happened? Because they were good? Like, what happened?
Well, it was like, oh, they didn't fucking close it fast enough, and there was like they didn't bring the money, and it's like, dude, just sell the team. You're either selling the team or you're not selling the team. It was like the team was an escrow, and then they're like, nah, we changed our mind.
Yeah, I was wondering why.
Also, I'm not like some A-Rod fucking stan or whatever, but like if those guys not just like pushing it through and getting it done, like you really cost yourself some money there too.
Yeah. He's always in a suit too. Like, did you dress down a little?
Yeah.
He's wearing a suit to these games. Well, this game's over now.
Well, I didn't get to watch it. I've only seen the first free throw go down.
Sorry to ruin
it. He missed one of them.
He missed one of them. Sorry to ruin it for anybody who's listening to this on Thursday.
As long as he hasn't missed 2 of them, it really doesn't matter. Did he miss 2 of them?
I'm not there yet.
Oh, he missed 1. 2 is the same as being down 2 points. The same as being down fucking 1 point.
Is it?
Well, with 1.8 seconds left to go, you need a steal and a basket.
Well, now he purposely missed. Now it's over.
Well, that was
all right. The Mavs with a huge game 1 dub.
NBA zigzag, baby. We're back.
It's their 5th road win of this playoffs. Why is Luka 77? It's an odd number. Why did he choose that? Do you know?
There was a reason. I forget what it is.
The year his mom was born or something.
I feel like he wanted to be 7, maybe.
He's a big fan of the movie 7. You looking it up or something?
Yeah. 7 was already taken by Dwight Powell, meaning he chose 77 instead to still show his respect for Spanulis. I don't know what that means.
Well, game 1. I mean, that's a big win. That's a huge win for them.
Huge.
It'll be a hard fought series though.
He looks up to Greek basketball star Vasilis Spanoulis.
Sounds like what I did to a girl. That sounds like what Skeeto did to a girl. I gave her the Spanoulis. Right?
Yeah. Gave her the old Vasilis Spanoulis.
Have you made a prediction on this series?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that I have. I think this is gonna be a good series, and I think the winner of it wins the title. I guess if you had asked me before this game, I was kind of on Minnesota because they have home court, but I think I think we're gonna get a good series here. Now you would think with a good series here, maybe a short series in the East, that really lines up nicely for Boston, but I just think Luka's a super duper star. Ant's a budding super duper star.
Well, he didn't.
Jayson Tatum is, a star, and Tyrese Halliburton is the second best point guard on this team.
I mean, nothing crazy for Edwards this game, though.
I know, because he's 22. I did bet the under.
You getting a Chili's commercial now?
Getting some bitch eating popcorn.
You get 3 items for $10.99. You get a burger.
I got a Crest reality checkup.
Dude, think about how cheap this is.
I've never been inside a Chili's in my whole life.
Really?
Never.
It's basically Applebee's. I don't know the difference.
I hate Applebee's. I don't know if you know that about me, Andy. I don't know if I've expressed that on this show.
And I don't know why you think they're all over. There's no Applebee's near me.
There's 15 Applebee's in Greater Cincinnati, at least minimum.
What's Greater Cincinnati?
I feel like we've done this before. I don't know. What is Greater Cincinnati, Andy? It's not my fucking town.
Let's see. Within how many miles of me?
Well, you're not the center of Cincinnati.
No.
Is there like outer Cincinnati? Like, is there an area that is like considered like around?
Like greater?
Like what's Greater Cincinnati? Is there like a,
Yeah,
like Westchester County, Fairfield County, I think Bergen County, and like Nassau County are the outer parts of fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
New York City.
it'd be a few counties and then some in northern Kentucky and then probably even some in Indiana. But no, dude, within 20 miles of me is one. Some of these are not close. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 Applebee's within 20 miles. Then after that, we're talking like I'm driving like an hour. Like I'm not considering that. So there's like 5. I mean, they're dying.
Well, good. They're disgusting.
Here's my thing with Applebee's or Chili's. Like it is what it is, so to speak. Like it's not I would say it's not the best food. It's not the worst food. It's like, hey, I am stuck in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Looney Bin doing shows for the weekend. I might not have the best options.
I feel like now, you know what? Maybe people should unsubscribe from the Dirty Sports Substack. I feel like we're retreading things. Like Think about all the things that are better. Like I will go to a Buffalo Wild Wings and eat the fucking urinal cakes before I go to Applebee's. Like there's a Buffalo Wild Wings everywhere.
True.
Why the fuck would you ever? What would you do? Why would you go to an Applebee's? I would eat at a Jack in the Box.
But because here's why.
Like I just really want to have a
Buffalo Wild Wings.
I really want to have a sit down meal while somebody gives me a electric lemonade with fucking Popov.
It's going to be way more expensive at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't know because I was at an Applebee's like 3 times in my life, and I was like, "This is disgusting. Why does anyone eat here?" So I don't really know the prices. I know there's like a 2 for $20 situation.
I just told you, Chili's is they're doing a burger and fries,
Dude,
chips and salsa.
I don't even honestly. I'm sorry. I know this is my fucking asshole New York. Like I don't even think there's a Chili's allowed in the state of the greater New York City area. I don't even think they would put in like. I wouldn't even know where to find a Chili's.
Probably one in Times Square.
Probably. I was in New York City for. I think there was a 5-year window where I didn't go to Times Square.
Do you want to hear a Times Square story, which I've never told? It's a classic Walt Ruther story going back to when you threw out the pitch in 2015.
Okay.
So, right, my parents were up there. So was my brother and my sister-in-law. And I was with them for a bit. We were bouncing all over New York. I don't know if you remember, there was like some bad weather that weekend too. I don't know if you remember that, but like some nasty weather hit, and they're just total tourists, and we were just going all over the city, and I think where they got hit, they were like outside by Times Square, so they got stuck there. And my brother was like, we were starving. Like they were stuck there. So I think they went. Is there a Hard Rock there?
There probably was then.
So regardless, I think they were in a Hard Rock in Times Square or something, and everybody's starving. And my dad was so cheap, he refused to eat. Like refused. He didn't want to pay because how outrageous, in his opinion, the prices were. So everybody's eating a meal. It's like pouring out rain, lightning, thunder. You're not going to go
Times Square.
This is in Times Square.
Okay.
And I think the thought of whatever they would charge for a burger, which they're going to do anywhere in New York.
Yeah.
He just refused, and he just sat there because he didn't want to pay for it. And I don't know if I wasn't with him at this point. You and I were doing a podcast. I don't know if at one point my brother just bought him something out of like, dude, what is your deal? Or
meanwhile, there's so many places he could have gone and eaten, but they didn't know the fucking name. So they're like, I guess the Hard Rock.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just checked, by the way. There's no Chili's in all of Manhattan.
Well, this is what somebody posted. There are 3, but they say permanently closed.
Yeah, there's according to Google, there's no Chili's in Manhattan. According to Google, the only Chili's in New York City, the 5 boroughs I can find, is in outer Queens. The closest Chili's to like Midtown New York City is in Secaucus, New Jersey.
Well, again, that's, guys, another vote of confidence.
Now
we got Chili's.
There is a place on 3rd Avenue in New York called Chiles or Chiles. I don't know, but it's Chiles grill.
Was it Applebee's or Chili's that Pat McAfee raved about the ribs when he came on our show?
There is a Chili's on Staten Island. That is not surprising.
Do you remember?
I think it was Applebee's. And I think I remember looking at you and being like, this fucking Indianapolis, this like West Virginia motherfucker. Of course he likes Applebee's. The dude's a multi-millionaire. He still doesn't wear sleeves. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those guys. He's like, I just prefer it. And you're like, okay.
Well, that could segue into something.
There's a Childs, though.
Chiles?
Could be Chiles.
Okay. Okay, what's better, Grizzles, made up Grizzles, or Chili's?
I don't know. I've never even set foot in a Chili's. I wouldn't
I
even
could
know what to do.
Again, it's basically Applebee's. I could crush Grizzles. It's a made up restaurant, but I bet Grizzles has just the fattest,
I'm telling you.
fattiest, unhealthy.
Grizzles is a Perkins that lost its franchise. And so they just put a Grizzles up.
Yeah, I used to crush.
They're like
Perkins
this
back in
menu
the
looks
day.
exactly like Perkins, and they're like, it's not Perkins, it's Grizzles. And they're like, but like, why?
It's like Coming to America.
Yeah.
McDowell's
Yeah.
instead of McDonald's.
It's like they broke a bunch of health code violations, so they lost their Perkins license. They lost their Perkins franchise.
And they have like a Snoop impersonator, like, for shizzle my grizzle. like they can't afford Snoop.
But and because Snoop has like a little ponytail, it's just like a chick. She's just like a lady Snoop.
I'm
Shizzle, welcome to Grizzles, Manizzle.
I'm picturing Ski Dog working the late night shift on Grizzles.
No, Ski Dog's going in and just harassing the late night shift.
Oh yeah,
Grizzles.
like he's banged one of the disgusting waitresses.
They're like, Ski Dog, get out of the kitchen. He's like, there's no way you can fucking make these mozzarella sticks as fast as I can. I'm gonna drop them, dropping the mozzie sticks, firing the sticks.
Hey, since this show's already off the rails.
Yeah, the show lives off the rails.
This has got to be a joke, right? Yoshi doesn't have a kid, does he?
Bro, is this the Russian girl that he's like giving toys to? I almost sent it to you the other day.
Dude, this is on Instagram.
Did somebody send this to you right now?
No, I saw it yesterday and I was like,
it's a Russian girl. She doesn't look Asian.
She kind of got that Asian.
I guess Russia's like borderline Asia.
It says my Russian daughter Nelly. He's got to be joking, right? She grew up in an orphanage. This is on Yoshi's Instagram, so it wasn't easy for her.
And so he gives her a bunch of toys, and she's super excited. Meanwhile, she's wearing like, yeah, bro. I saw it and I was like, that's some Yoshi shit right there.
I'm going to text Yoshi.
Well, don't text him, do you have a daughter? It's very clearly not his daughter. Why would his daughter grow up in an orphanage and why would she be Russian?
So what does he mean when he says my daughter?
I mean, like have
banging
somebody...
this chick?
No. Like people be like
sponsor somebody?
Yeah, but just like she's probably just joking around, like my daughter, my son,
I mean, he's just, there's nobody like him.
No.
Okay, I'm glad you saw that though, because I was like, what the fuck is this?
How many people are on this Inside the NBA fucking show at this point? We have Shaq, Charles, Kenny, Draymond, Kyrie, and Ernie. Ernie's just saying, Ernie's like,
Ernie, you know what Ernie is in this situation?
Uncomfortable. That's what he is.
He's Chad in the Mad Real World for Chappelle Show.
Yeah.
By the way, you know what would be fun to do? I might do this. I'll just do a selfless plug. I might do this on the Andy Ruther show. I was thinking about this. This might be an idea for
when does episode 2 of the Andy Ruther show come out?
Well, if Isla didn't get sick, it was supposed to be out Tuesday. I haven't recorded it. It's gonna be out Friday. That will be discussed.
What are our topics? Can you give me a...
Well, there's going to be a new segment called, I already plugged this, Karens of Anderson.
Okay.
And here's a sneak peek. It leads into
Andersons.
It leads into something that happened in my neighborhood today, and we're going to
debate.
Is this a Karen? Is what somebody did, I'm not even going to reveal it, is what
Why?
somebody.
Can I just weigh in? Preview it for the Dirty Sports listeners.
Okay.
You can explain it way more in depth on your own show.
So I thought this would be a great segue because I'm gonna post some Karen shit because I'm in some great Facebook groups now.
Right.
Just
Karen's
to see all
of
the,
Anderson.
just to see all the Karens. So I live in a cul-de-sac, as you know.
Yeah.
At the end of the cul-de-sac, is a family that rents. The woman is like finishing up her residency or something for medical school. They just rent it to doctors like for 3 years. And
It's a house.
It's a house.
Okay.
So the woman, I guess the family lives in Chicago. So I'm just giving a quick little background. So they rent it to, so she's a doctor, he's an engineer, and she's finishing up. They have a young kid. Her mom lives there. His parents are there now too. I don't know. There's a lot of people there now at this point.
Okay.
Like she's from Africa, or he's from Africa. Like really nice people. We've
All right,
actually,
now we're getting to the Karen part of this.
yeah. So like we've befriended them. Like we went to their birthday. He's about the same age
Went
as
to their
Isla.
birthday party.
Yeah, we went to their son's birthday party. So
okay.
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 So I would call friends. Yeah, I would call us friends.
Okay.
So
well, you went to their kid's birthday party. They're not enemies.
No, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
So because their kid's about, I don't know, a year older than Isla. Anyway, regardless. So they're very friendly. Now the mother-in-law who lives there has like an old Toyota Corolla that's been parked on the street. Just it doesn't move. Now I'll be honest, it annoys me too because like Brittany's not the best driver, and it's like it's right by our house backing up. But like whatever. At the end of the day, it's like it's there. So I do know one of my neighbors, to her credit, didn't go around it, approached them straight up, and was like, she's got high school kids too that are terrible drivers. So like I think backing up for them is an issue, like legit. They're idiot drivers. She was like, hey guys, can the car, nobody's using the car. Like, does it even work? She went to them. I know she did. And she was like, can you just move her car? It's just sitting on the street.
Where would they move it though?
I don't know, their driveway.
Okay. Is that a thing? Like, can they, like, I assume that they maybe have a garage?
They do, and they have two
it's
cars.
like a one car driveway kind of thing, where it's like one car coming in and out of the driveway?
Most people in my neighborhood have one car in the garage, one car on the driveway.
Behind the garage, like tandem parking, if you will, where it's like one car goes in and then one car comes in behind it.
No, you could park next to each other.
Okay. So two side by side. You have room.
Yeah.
Most of them have two side by side. So most people have 2-car garages where you can pull both in.
Correct.
If you wanted.
But like most people, like us, we have one side where we just got a bunch of shit, and then one side we park a car.
That's fine. Right.
So
theoretically, you could park a non-working or like a lack of working, not often working vehicle on the side of the garage that you don't use, and the other side could be in and out.
Correct. So I guess she approached them. I don't know how this played out. I'm walking Roscoe today, and I see a cop pull down my street, which is pretty rare. And then I see, as I'm coming back, I see the officer was like knocking on their door, and then she left.
Can I weigh in before I even hear the end? Karen. It's the fucking street. It's the street. What the fuck are we talking about here? You don't own the street. Get fucked, Karen.
Okay.
Is the car parked legally? Yes. Get fucked, Karen. Now, I know a lot of places. Let me just say this. Legally, some places, if you park your car for a certain amount of time without moving it, you're breaking the law. Guess what? The people that the people that go and tell the law that car ain't moving, Karen.
So that is the situation. So
Karen.
I'm the city of Cincinnati. Legally, you can't just leave a car there. I'm seeing this all play out. Again, I'm just kind of like the bystander, and I'm getting text from other neighbors about this from the wife being like, I can't believe somebody called the cops. Um, it is interesting because you do have racial elements now
Of course you do.
because you have an African and Middle Eastern family
And a Karen.
who's white. So like I'm like, wow,
It's
this
kind
is
of like I mean, that's like
I'm not saying it was racially
that's more of a go-to move for a Karen than like Tim Hardaway crossing people over.
I'm not saying it was racially motivated.
I'm
just
saying
saying
it's racially motivated.
I'm saying there's some interesting factors in this, right? Because he's from Africa, she's from the Middle East, and it's like, oh, okay. This is interesting. Now, there again, I'm just like sandwiched between all these houses. So I'm just like, okay, this is all interesting.
You know how
And
we
here,
can solve this real easy. Invite Will Kalmbach over, give him 6 beers. He fucking takes that thing out. Forget it. He goes furiosa on that shit.
by the way, I would love because but you didn't hesitate, Karen.
No doubt about it, Karen. No doubt about it, Karen.
The only reason I was hesitating was my thing was like she did go to them. To me, a Karen would not go to them first.
No, you're still Karen. Not only did you go to them, and then you didn't get the answer you liked, so you went to the cops?
No, but she went to them like months ago.
Okay. I don't know what the law is, but okay. Let me give you an example of this. Okay. When I moved up here, like historically, I've only ever lived in Los Angeles, basically in Venice or El Segundo. LAX, easiest thing ever, right? $8 fucking Uber. Like getting LAX historically, very easy for me in all of my years in Los Angeles. I'm now an hour from LAX. It's the first time ever that I'm like, oh, fuck. Like I was literally like, is there a closer airport? Like I'm far as fuck from LAX, right? So when I went to Hawaii last year, Laz was watching my dog. So I was like, hey, Laz, I'm going to come down and drop my dog off. Why don't I just like park my car in your hood? And then like, if I got to give you keys or whatever, like alternate side of the street, but I actually know specifically in his neighborhood, there's no alternate side of the street parking. So I was like, yo, I can be here a week and the car can stay on that side. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there's something called Park Angels, right? You can look on your phone at what the parking rules are and everywhere. And I was like, I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to park my car and then get that shit towed or whatever because I left it there and there actually is alternate side. So I was like, no signs, no alternate side. So I looked it up and it said 48 or 72 hour parking, right? Meaning no one's coming on alternate side, but there's like technically a rule. But I know that I know how cops work. When that's the rule, essentially somebody has to call because you don't just come around and like mark tires and then come back like 3 days later and see if you mark tires. It's not like 2 hour parking. You know what I mean? It's not a 72-hour meter or whatever. So I parked my car and I was like, keep the keys, but it's parked right. And the thing was, I go, Laz, it's parked right by your place. So it would literally have to be a Karen being like, hey, that car's been here for like 4 days. We got to call the police. Like, I said to him, I go, the only way I'm getting a ticket is if some Karen lives in your neighborhood and is monitoring whether or not cars move.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any Karens. So my car is fine. It was there for a fucking week. Came back. I was like, did you move my car? He's like, no, it's right where you left it. I was like, it's fine. Let's ride. Because his neighborhood, by the way, this isn't his neighborhood where Laz lives. He's living in a temporary house in like Culver City, Culverish border, Inglewood, Culver border.
I
Like,
gotcha.
real Mexican over there.
Yeah.
No Karenitas, no Karenitos, no Karens. My car could have been there fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, probably a month, probably before. Like, is the car dusty?
Yeah,
Dusty.
it's dusty. I mean, it's been there, dude. Like,
Yeah.
let me put it this way. Full disclosure, do I get annoyed when I'm cutting my grass because I can't get a full like you know what I'm saying? Like I'd almost be hitting
Is the car parked in front of your house?
like border of my house and my neighbor.
But where's it parked? In front of your neighbor's house? Or in front
Literally,
of
it's like it's like kind of over kind of both.
and your neighbor is the one whose house who owns the car? Is parked in front of their house?
No, the Karen I'm bordered with the Karen who called the cops.
So this isn't parked in front of this is between your house and the Karen house.
Correct.
Why doesn't it park in front of their house?
Well,
The
dude, then we
owners.
got well, the way the cul-de-sac works, they couldn't. There's no street parking there. It's a small cul-de-sac.
So
And then
Karen's upset that the car's parked in front of her house is what's happening.
correct.
She's not upset that the car's just been there a while. The car, whatever. She's upset it's parked in front of her house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Karen.
So there by the way, I didn't even explain everything here. Yeah, I'll save that for the Andy Ruther show. And some of these, by the way, some of these Karen things are wild. Like I have fallen down some Karen rabbit holes on these Facebook groups that I'm laughing, and I'm also like, these people need serious help. Like they live for being a Karen on a local township Facebook group.
And that's the thing. And I hate to go full circle to where we are, but to where we started. But this is middle class problems. Rich people don't have this problem, and poor people don't have this problem. This is only middle class problems. You are fucking rich as fuck. That car ain't there. You know what I mean? Or it's at the end of your fucking 2-mile driveway, and you're like, whatever. So what this Karen's real upset about is that she doesn't have a nice enough house where this shit doesn't happen to her. And then she's like, well, I'm not poor. I shouldn't have a poor ass, dusty ass car in front of my house. It's like, well, Karen.
Well, I think you're really putting on a shrink hat there.
I mean, the truth is,
they might just not want it in front of their house.
Yeah, but guess what? This shit doesn't. The house I grew up in, there's no fucking curb. There's no like whatever. It's like a lawn to street situation. You know, no one parks in the fucking street because it's not a cul-de-sac because it's not a fucking thing. You know what I mean? No one's parking in front of fucking, fucking, I don't know, pick a fucking celebrity. No one's parking in front of Justin Bieber's house in fucking Calabasas. You know what I mean? Like it ain't a cul-de-sac. Karen's got middle ass Karen angst.
Like, let me put it this way. When we looked at the house, we viewed my current house that I own in June of 2022. That car was there.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're coming up on like 2 years. Now, I also lived in LA and I lived in Venice. It's like different.
You're like, no one's living in it, so I don't give a fuck.
So like, I just have a different, a different viewpoint on a lot of this stuff than a lot of these people. But what's funny is people all come to me. So now I'm on all these texts.
So a couple of weeks ago, so I live on a street where there's street parking, right? There's like you can't park in front of my house on Thursday mornings from like 10 to 1, right? Some shit like that. For a fucking week, dude, there's a full ass RV, fucking Breaking Bad meth lab RV parked in front of my house. And my girlfriend was like, this fucking RV. I go, well, it's got to move by fucking Thursday. I go, if you're real worried about it, we could just take the car. We just come around in the car on Thursday. We park there, so it can't park directly in front of our place. It's got to park somewhere else. And then it fucking moves on. And then she kept being like, this RV. And I literally said to her, I was like, who gives a fuck? Who cares? And that's right outside her house. I go, well, okay. Stop thinking about it. Enough with the RV. I go, you're ruining my day by talking about this RV.
Well, I think here's the thing about my situation though. I think it does get interesting because I'm in an HOA. And the reason I say that is I know other neighbors who've gotten, you technically can't have your garbage cans out
Yeah.
past 6 p.m. the day the garbage is picked up. So I know people have gotten notices. So then it turns into one of those like, okay, wait, I'm gonna get notice because my
Now, what
garbage
happened? The
can's out.
cops came. When the cops came, what happened?
I don't think anything.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Whose house did they go to? The house of the people who own the car?
yeah.
And they were like, is it legally parked? Okay, get the fuck off my property, 5-0.
But well, they don't own the property. But here's the thing. I don't know if Karenita knows their 3-year lease is up at the end of June. So it's like they're leaving anyway.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on here.
What you should be doing, by the way, when you're out there cutting your grass, give that dusty ass car a hose down, man. How about helping out? How about helping her out?
They're doing all right. I don't need to help them out. They're doing just fine.
Okay, they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Now is this gone to like the Facebook?
No.
No.
This is just
This isn't being talked about in the hood.
This is literally my street.
Right.
And then my other neighbor on the other side of me gave me a text between the woman whose mother's car it was. So now I'm in on so now I'm like seeing those texts. I mean, it's the suburbs, man.
Rocking the suburbs.
I'm saying people like this is what they're dealing with. And for some reason, it's kind of like Savage Town. Like my role always is like I'm in the middle of it. Now Savage Town is more actually in the middle. Now I'm just kind of like the new guy who everybody knows because I have a young kid.
My girlfriend, has a little she's got a little bit of Karen in her. She's a little Karen-y when it comes to, especially when it comes to like house landlord shit. Like we don't own our house, obviously. So like, okay, we have 2 fucking dogs. One dog when we moved in, and then we fostered a dog, and now we fucking kept the foster. A long fucking story short. And I was like, can we just not with the fucking, let's just not tell the landlord about the like, I don't need to pay a $500 deposit for the other dog. Like, let's just like, when in doubt, just like pretend we have one fucking dog, right? So then the gardeners come, the landlord pays for the gardener. And we left like a squeaky bone out in the fucking yard, like a stick. It's like a squeaky stick that we would throw for them. So the gardeners come, and then the gardeners leave, and the stick's gone, the squeaky stick. And she's like, where the fuck is the squeaky stick? I think the gardeners took the squeaky stick. Where's the fucking squeaky stick? I've looked everywhere for the squeaky stick. I go, who gives a fuck? Well, I mean, it's not the cheapest dog toy. I go, well, it didn't cost you $5,000. It's a $18 dog toy. I go, let's be honest, what probably happened is they ran it over.
Yeah,
and they're
100%.
cutting the lawn. And then they were like, I'm going to throw it out before they notice that we mangled it. No, maybe they took it. Why would they take the dog toy? What are you talking about? So then I'm just like, enough with the dog toy. No. 2 hours later on the I'm out of town when this happens, by the way, because of course I am. 2 hours later on the text chain with our landlord, hey, the gardeners came and we have a dog toy. And I go, you're texting our landlord about this? Now the landlord comes 2 days later. The landlord's over peeking around, poking in windows, whatever. She's like, do you guys have 2 dogs in here? And I was like, here we go. You had to go fucking Karen.
Wow.
For a dog toy.
Yeah, it was
enough with the dog toy. Who cares?
You know, one time I had guys when I first moved to LA, there were some painters there in my apartment. And I realized like a week later, they took 2 of my Playboys. I used to have a Playboy subscription.
Yeah.
I remember being like, These fucking cocksuckers. I was like, that's what that story reminds me. They took my Playboys.
Yeah.
No, I didn't text my landlord. Like, yo, dude, June 2007 issue is gone.
Yeah, then we had to have now we have a whole lie about how the dog is her dad's dog, but he's in the hospital and he's getting a heart transplant. And we don't know when he's going to be well enough to take care of the dog. Now we've got now we have a whole.
Yeah.
And I said, can I just buy a new dog toy and we never talk about this again? It's not the dog boy, it's the principal. Enough.
Never go full Karen.
Oh, I wonder what the police think about this RV outside. How about we not? How about stop being a Karen? White women just can't. Honestly, white women, there's just something in their soul. White women just can't. They cannot. It's like as an Italian, like every once in a while, I'm fucking like, I can't not do the hands talk.
Yeah, it is in the DNA.
It's in the DNA. They just can't help themselves.
Yeah,
I asked for this. I asked for this without the Chipotle mayo. Shut up. Just eat the fucking sandwich.
Oh,
what
yeah.
Are you talking about here? Are you allergic to it? No, you just prefer it.
That's when Karen
a time in the world where you never fucking.
That's when it comes out the most.
Lachlan has a great joke about it. He was like, I had no idea until I met my girlfriend that you could return food just because you don't like it.
It is a great bit.
I want something else.
Well, look, it is late here. We are off the rails. I'd like to wrap this bad boy up. 310
know if the Rangers won?
What's up?
Anybody know if the Rangers won? Hockey. 3-0 Panthers down. Rangers lose their first game at maybe not their first game at MSG. Game 1 at MSG, that's for sure.
Well, hop in, guys. 310-359-8365. That's the hotline.
You have a call?
No, I'm not gonna play anything right now. I'll be honest. Okay. We'll have some calls next episode. And I'll have to be continued that for the Andy Ruther show.
I have some Thai food waiting for me, I think, unless my girlfriend sent a Yelp review to the Thai restaurant and we're banned now. By the way, you'll love it. I posted it on my Substack today. I fucking posted my round of golf. I forgot that the minimal golf bag has a filming pocket. So I filmed a couple holes in my golf. And then, of course, I got through 7 holes. 2 more holes. I was going to play 9 and play a nice little half round. My girl was like, you got to come home. You know, this thing. By the way, I'm really shitting on my girlfriend as a Karen, but she's actually great. She's like the most low-key, chill girlfriend I've ever had in my whole life. Meanwhile, also still like, that dog toy. They just can't help it. They can't help it, guys.
It's in the DNA.
They cannot help it.
You promoting anything?
I will be at the Irvine Improv tomorrow night, Thursday. Opening for Adam Carolla and Brad Williams. I guess they're doing a podcast / comedy show, the two of them. I'm just going to be warming it up. So I'll be there for that. I'll be in Levittown, New York, opening for Adam Carolla at the end of June. I believe it's June 28th, 29th. I'll be in New York for myself, headlining at the end of July, Yonkers Comedy Club. That's the 26th, 27th of July. Got a bunch of dates, all at joeprano.com. Become a founding member of the Dirty Sports Substack if you're not already a founding member. You get a free 6 months of mine. Just put up half of my golf round today, Andy.
Noise.
All
right, guys. That's the show. Appreciate everybody sticking with us. We will be back again on Monday. And again, my paid Substack people, you're going to get the Poop Sock episode out this weekend. So, be watching out for that. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. And as always, stay dirty.